From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Monday, April 20th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kerry Jr. Coronavirus cases continue to trend down in Michigan. The state reported 633 new cases and 83 new deaths. Still, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been receiving heavy criticism regarding Michigan's stay-at-home order. At least 7 lawsuits were filed against the mandate. The claims argue the governor's restrictions infringe upon individuals' property rights, ability to travel freely, and more. On CNN's State of the Union Sunday morning, Governor Whitmer responded to the criticism. She said, quote, "We know this curve was steep, and now these efforts are making a difference in saving lives. We've got to continue doing it," end quote. The governor has yet to release an official plan for loosening the shelter-in-place order, but on Friday, Whitmer says when the time is right, the state will reopen incrementally.
When we start returning to work, we will begin with low-risk sectors. And as a state, we may re-engage our strategy by region, depending on what the data tells us.
Whitmer says it's still too early to tell how close Michigan is to that process. General Motors and Ford Motor Company will begin building ventilators starting this week. The automakers agreed to a $339 million contract with the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Ford and GM are recruiting 500 UAW workers at Ford's Rawsonville Components plant in Ypsilanti. This is a separate contract from the one GM and Ventec Life Systems agreed upon in March. In that contract, the companies agreed to build 30,000 ventilators by August. GM and Ford's goal? Produce 50,000 machines by July 4th. An inmate at Macomb Correctional Facility died of COVID-19 last week. His name was William Garrison. He's 60 years old, and he was set to be released from prison early May after serving 44 years. Late Monday night, Garrison's bunkmate found him struggling to breathe. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. A post-mortem test revealed that Garrison had contracted COVID-19. His bunkmate also tested positive. Garrison's attorney says his death is especially hard for his family, who are awaiting his release.
It's a great loss to have lost a client, especially when his family was so excited to welcome him home and planned on providing housing and supporting him in the transition into reentry into the community.
Garrison's death is an example of the concern surrounding the spread of the disease in Michigan prisons. As of Sunday, 18 inmates and 2 department employees have died of COVID-19 across the state. You can find more on this story at the Free Press website. That's the latest. For more information about COVID-19 in Michigan, visit www.freep.com.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. During Michigan's stay-at-home order, crime is down, but anxiety is up. So police departments throughout Metro Detroit are doing what they can to inject some cheer into the lives of kids and a few adults by celebrating with birthday drive-bys. Officers line up the patrol cars and roll by residents. They flash the lights, sound the sirens, and some play happy birthday through their PA systems. In some cases, they even bring gifts. Police and firefighters say helping and comforting people is hardly a new part of their job. Officers have long gone above and beyond for residents, but these days, it seems to mean more. In Dearborn, the first birthday drive-by was especially emotional. The 6-year-old birthday boy, Liam Brazer, and his mom, Elise, were so happy they started crying.
What's with the claps?
That's for your birthday. Come here.
Liam turned 6 back in March. He was super excited to celebrate with cupcakes with his class. But when school closed early, he never got the chance. And he didn't understand why. In all the commotion, his birthday got lost. Liam's mom heard about what police were doing, wondered if they would be willing to give her birthday boy a belated moment in the spotlight, and on Tuesday, officers arrived in force with their sirens blaring.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Meredith Spellring. Looking for an activity to fill 10 minutes of quarantine time? The 2020 census, with 9 questions and the option to respond via mail, phone, or online, can do exactly that. And so far, Michiganders are doing a pretty good job at getting their census responses in. Michigan currently has a response rate of about 55%, good for a three-way tie for second in the nation. In fact, Detroit is leading several other major U.S. cities when it comes to completing the 2020 census. But it still falls short of the state's 82% response goal by April 30th. Because of safety concerns due to coronavirus, field data collections will not begin until June 1st and likely run through October. But if you want to avoid anyone knocking on your door, get your form in before April 30th. For more information on the 2020 census, head to freep.com.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Tad Davis. Hundreds of people in Michigan have died as a result of the coronavirus. But to us, they're more than a number. The Detroit Free Press is telling the stories of loved ones lost due to the coronavirus. If you have a family member who has died and you would like to share their story, we'd like to hear from you. To share your story, you can leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2760 or fill out the form at our website. See you tomorrow.